Michael Wagner.
And you, sir?
Derek Foster.
All right, so tell me exactly what it is that you two do.
A lot of urban dirt jumping riding. It's a 26-inch dirt jump bike, kind of with the geometry of like a BMX bike.
Okay.
And just like to ride in the city at nighttime when there's no traffic. Set up some ramps at the house when the jumps are wet, and just have a good time.
That's what's up. You, sir?
We basically do a lot of the same stuff, you know, the bike riding downtown, and we got our ramps here. I also do a lot of painting. I mean, you know, those are my two things right there: painting and bike riding and selling roofs.
Selling roofs?
Yes, sir.
And we did talk about that a little bit earlier, but we didn't get this man's side of selling roofs, so I want to hear that.
Yeah, so I've been selling roofs since COVID. Okay. Yeah, I used to be a pilot, and then COVID happened, and then kind of fell into doing this and love it.
Okay.
And got Derek to move over here from San Antonio about 2 years ago. About 2 years ago. And yeah, it's a passion of ours, I guess.
And you got into doing this because of what? Because you know, you told me, but I think they need to hear it as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, I got into the roofing. He literally called me every day and said I would be a bad friend if I didn't have you come over here. So he actually had the owner of the company, Eric Beveridge, reach out to me, and he kind of swung me. And I worked both jobs back and forth. I was coming here 4 times a week until I realized I got to move here. I got to move back here. This job changed, you know, it changed my life in many ways.
Really?
Yeah, it really helped me find out who I really was, you know.
Gotcha.
My whole life I was thinking I was an introvert.
Okay. And just for those that are watching, if you're wondering where we are on their custom roof deck. I wish I could kind of like zoom out to kind of show you, but I can't. But I have to say it's pretty cool being up here, given the fact that these two gentlemen had built this particular deck themselves. And you are the only residents in this community that have this roof deck, correct?
I believe it's in the city.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's get into the bike riding. That is particularly a sport that most people never really get into. What attracted you to this particular sport?
So I started racing motorcycles when I was 8, so kind of riding BMX bikes and stuff as a kid, kind of went hand in hand with that, and just had a lot of fun with it. And I was racing my whole life. When I got homeschooled when I started high school, and started riding pro class and traveling more when I was like 17. And then yeah, just things happened and get hurt a lot racing, and I stopped riding dirt bikes and kind of want to find something to do to have some fun, and got into riding bicycles. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun and very creative, and it's just a lot of stuff you can do. And,
okay. And you?
Same. I mean, I rode BMX as a kid, you know, like most kids, and got into motocross and did that for a while. Same thing, you know, got to the pro class and got hurt a lot, and I was tired of that. It's also a little more expensive at the time that I was, you know, I couldn't afford. But you know, I mean, that's how me and him met, is through motocross. We raced together a lot.
Yeah, I think it's just like whenever with racing and stuff, when you stop riding, nothing really makes you feel alive anymore. It gives you any excitement or nothing to look forward to, and yeah, it just kind of makes you feel alive. You get to scare yourself, push yourself, and do things that you're not comfortable with sometimes, and just get creative. And it's I can't imagine why people don't do it.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I could not imagine living a normal life if I didn't ride. Yeah, it's a total escape.
It is.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, well, not tell you, but I'm asking, injuries. A lot of people, when they look at motocross, they look at what you guys do. I mean, going through the air, oftentimes at extreme speeds, injuries are bound to occur.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You did share with me a particular injury. Would you feel comfortable telling the audience?
Absolutely. Which one?
Pick one.
Okay. Well, I have metal hip. I shattered that when I was 16. So that was yeah, that's pretty cool. That was fun. But the one I was telling you about was it was actually on a street bike. So you know, going down Interstate 45 here, and I still don't know what happened, but I woke up in the hospital. Well, actually, I woke up with life flight landing, and both sides of the highway shut down, and that was pretty bad. It was about a 2-month ordeal in the hospital, and about 4 surgeries, I believe. You know, compound fracture, my left arm, a crushed tailbone, collapsed lung, 3rd degree road rash from the neck down. I was in the burn unit for two weeks, I believe, in the tank. Yeah, you know, that's the last time I rode a street bike.
What about you?
Man, but I've had about a dozen, I guess, let's say about 12 or so broken bones. Broke my T5 vertebrae in my back, lacerated my lungs, my intestines. Had more concussions, I think, than I can count. And broke my left leg 3 times. Shoulders, toes, ankles, collarbones. But yeah, the lung was kind of why I stopped racing motorcycles.
What keeps you guys going? I mean, despite the injuries.
I did forget that it was about a month and a half ago. I keep forgetting that.
Yeah.
I wrecked on my bike. I crashed pretty hard, and
like 3 times.
Yeah. I bruised the. They thought I was having a heart attack because I bruised the lining in my heart because I hit so hard. I didn't know that at the time. Yeah, those 3 days, 4 days, whatever it was a blur. I still don't understand what happened, but
yeah. Oh, that's when I called your mom.
Yeah, everybody apparently was reaching out to me,
and mom was like, I haven't heard from Derek in a while, and then he's like, I was like, hey, how are you doing? She's like, I'm hoping you know where my son is, and I'm like, no, that's why I'm calling you.
I didn't know where I was.
And then I got a picture of you in the hospital.
Yeah, but anyways, that's the most recent one.
But what keeps you going though? I mean, like, despite the pain, despite the injuries and the adverse risks of doing such, like,
you got to play to
say, I'm gonna get up, dust myself off, and get back on the bike.
You got to pay to play. Like,
okay.
You know, it's just part of it, and I think maybe, or doing what we did our whole life, racing and stuff, you kind of find your passion in doing something that has a high risk, so it's a lot more rewarding. So it's I don't know, it's just kind of, it's part of it. Just life seems very mundane, and I get caught up in the day-to-day mundaneness of life. It just makes everything like worth it, and kind of just, it's awesome. It's fun.
I like that, risk versus reward.
Okay.
It is worth the risk. We know the consequences, and honestly, you just gotta get good at falling and bailing. You know, you get good at jumping off your bike, you're going to probably be okay.
Yeah.
Probably.
It happens almost every day. It's fine, but yeah, come on. Yeah, no, it's just as weird as it sounds. It is also fun to fall pretty bad and get up and be okay. I got plenty of videos of it.
Do not agree with that.
You don't?
I'd rather not fall. But yeah, but the better you get, the slower things happen, and you kind of, you know, you've done it so much, you kind of know ahead of time that, hey, this isn't right. And then when something happens, you have plenty. It's kind of like the time just slows down, and you just kind of, get rid of the bike, and then just kind of spot your landing, and then just roll.
Dude. All of a sudden you're on the ground.
Laugh about it.
You're on the ground. You're like, what happened just now? But it's almost like a trick in its own. You can fall and get up. You know, that's like I feel like accomplished. No?
But you stated something real, like, I won't say profound, but it's definitely something to think about. You say that time slows down, at least for you. What is that like for you? Like, what is that feeling like when time slows down?
Just, I think whenever you get really comfortable riding the bike and you start getting very creative, things kind of, the better you get, the slower things happen. Okay. You know, it's not like it's just like it's not an intense thing. It's actually it's the opposite of if someone looking at it that doesn't know anything about it, it's a very kind of very, very peaceful and very creative, and it's kind of like you go into like everything just kind of slows down, and yeah, it's kind of it's in a state of.
I thought we were talking about crashing. As far as riding bikes, I agree.
Saying, like,
completely.
As far as crashing, like whenever you get better at riding, like everything slows down, and if you're going to crash, it's not like you don't have a heads up. You know what's going to happen before it happens, so you can kind of roll.
I never do. He's been better than me for a while. I'm kind of catching up to his level. But so yeah, all his philosophy on it is a little more advanced than mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have to start right here?
Let's talk bikes. I mean, like, what kind of bikes do you like to ride? Obviously, for the circuit that you're running, what kind of bikes do you ride?
Well, I got 3 different styles down there. I have a downhill bike. It's
Really?
you can tell a big difference by it. It's got full suspension on it, long travel. It's made for stuff that Texas does not have the size of. It's too big for what Texas has to offer. So you have to go to Colorado or Canada, right? Or Utah, Arizona,
Or New Mexico.
mountains. It's for mountains, and it's made to jump very, very far and high. It's almost like a dirt bike without the
Let's
motor.
go to places, ski lifts and stuff during the summertime. You take the ski lifts up because there's no snow, obviously, and it's a mountain bike park. So you're going down the side of a mountain and you're not really having to pedal and just really fast and big drops.
Yep. And then there's a slope style. I have a slope style, which is more so a smaller version of the downhill bike. It's full suspension, but it's not as long of travel, and it's made to jump some pretty big stuff. But it's still small enough to do, pretty crazy stuff.
Okay.
And mostly here in Houston, we just ride it's a hardtail dirt jumper. I ride a Common Sol Absolute, so it's a German bike. Derek rides a Specialized P3, and it's kind of just it's a good all-around bike for riding in the city or going ride dirt jumps, but it's made for riding dirt jumps.
Yeah, but we also, we call it urban DJing, urban dirt jumping. Take them downtown, we find gaps and wall rides and just whatever we can that's gonna be a little dangerous and exciting, but cool, good for good footage and stuff.
What do you say to the people who, like, they look at what you do and they say, nah, I could never do that, or that's crazy? Like, what do you say to those
Yes, you
people?
can.
Yeah, just have to, you just have to do it.
That's it.
If anything you want to do, you can figure out. Just you got to do it. You got to ride, and if you think you can't do something, then don't do it. But you have to. If you want to do something, anyone at all can do it.
You have to become obsessed. Like we spoke of earlier. I didn't think I was gonna be able to jump the stuff and do the things we're doing now. Back in 4 or 5 months ago? Yeah. But I made myself ride every single day. I made it an obsession, and people think I have a problem. But doing so, I was able to kind of advance, and learn and find out how a bike works. And I went through, I think, 11 bikes or something crazy.
Wow.
I've sold off a lot, but I think I found the one, which is the one that I ride now, the Specialized P3. In ORP, that's our bike shop. Chris Rickard up there, he takes care of us. He puts our bikes together. He's one of the best bike builders, mechanics in this entire city.
It's probably one of the best bike shops in the nation.
Yes,
really?
Off of Highway 6.
Right here in Houston?
Yeah. Yeah, it's Chris Rickard at ORP.
ORP.
Anything you need. You can go in there and literally pick out a frame and custom choose every single part on the bike and totally build a bike. He builds all the Slim Thugs bikes, the 36ers,
Okay.
and a lot of the guys you see around here that do a lot of the cruising and the wheelies and stuff like that. But just build some great bikes right here off Highway 6 in Houston.
Yep.
Oh.